All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Arena Podcast, aka the WAPcast. Today, Firas and I are joined by a fellow G3 RTA player, and Alan. What's going on, Alan?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for inviting me to your WAP podcast. I don't think I'm qualified here, but here I am.
Oh, you're definitely qualified. And yeah, if anyone wants to check out Alan, he streams on Twitch. It's AlanSW, right? Twitch.tv.
Yeah, it's
AlanSW.
like, no, AIAN.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Name. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it'll be the actual link will be in the description anyway, so that's fine. But yeah, I do remember that you're a fraud. You're not a real Alan.
That's true. EAN.
Yep.
Do you do YouTube or anything, or is it just Twitch?
Yeah, I used to do YouTube, but then I stopped doing YouTube because most of my viewers like Vietnamese viewer, and then it's kind of hard to switch between like English and Vietnamese at the same time. Take a lot of time, so I stopped doing it.
Yeah,
I do have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, because that's where I originally like knew you from, was your YouTube channel. I think you had done some stuff with like Mystery Hunt and everything, right? Back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. So how's your RTA season going so far?
I like yesterday is the day that I play RTA, because before yesterday I haven't played RTA for a week.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
Like a week before I stopped at like 18-20, and it takes like about 5 minutes to fight. So I was like, no, I just wait for me to drop, then I can play. So I use that time to like review account. And yesterday when I play on Firas account as well.
Yeah.
So the queue time is much faster doing it that way.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how Firas actually got higher points than me, because I knew it couldn't have been him. So.
Oh. I'm messed up, I admit it.
But yeah, I mean, you've been doing super good this season on pretty much every account you've played on, I've noticed, which is crazy because I can't find consistency in this meta at all. Like, so what comps have you, like, when you go on someone else's account, right? So they don't have the same units as you. I mean, maybe some of the same like regular element ones, but they won't have your LDs or whatever. Like, what comp do you think is providing like the most consistency for this meta? In higher up ranks, more specifically.
There is two type of account that I stumble across. One is like the type that have Swiffer, and the cap gonna be, to me, it's gonna be G2. G3 is kind of different because you have to have like experience, counter plan pick. But if you have like a whole comp for Swiffer, it should be like easy G2. So that is Swiffer comp. And another comp, if they're missing a piece of like Jogan or more, then they could still run Swiffer. But then it's gonna be capped at like G1. Because 100%. It's really hard. Normally, I'm gonna advise them to just like go one comp at the main team for the account, so that they don't have to like focus many things at the same time, and that's gonna make they just don't know what to do when the point and pick like specific stuff. So that is the first type, and the second type is those accounts that have LD. So based on the LD, is it like offensive or defensive? I'm gonna guide them to like different play style, but most likely with LD account, I would do like a pseudo turn 2, not like return 1.
Yeah, there's
so
not.
AKA,
you gotta have like Nephthys specifically almost to be a turn 1 LD player. Yeah, but do you think the main reason why like Swifford is kind of hard capped at like G2 is just because the G3 players have the counters to that comp really are LDs for the most part. Like, it's your units like Volantis who are gonna cut in after the Jogun does his thing, or it's units like Tian Lang who's gonna cut after the Verd goes off. It's like, is that just where the counter picks people just actually start to own them? Is G3? Is that like the main reason why it's hard stuck?
I don't think it's really hard stuck if you know what you're playing. The reason really good about Swiftward is it's slower your rune quality, your rune requirement to surpass those like
Yeah.
really strong LD like Tien Lang and Draglon as well as what do you call that, Heigang. So
Yeah.
you just need
Yeah.
one word really fast. And then the thing about the word is because we people who play turn one, they're gonna have at least like 2 AoE stripper, and they're gonna run into like word triple revenge word. So
Yep.
by first picking word or by playing swift word, we kind of take like a core unit of turn two. So if we have
Yeah.
Heigang, then we have 2 force ban
It's like
already.
almost the only way to use Chiwu anymore is if you boost your
Yes.
Chiwu with the Swift Verd, because
Yes.
otherwise you're just going to get verded and every game's going to be a coin flip no matter what.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
AZ,
Coin is heavily on one side, but yeah.
Yeah.
so I
Weighted coin.
learned that comp from AZ, and last season he is really close to G3, but
He always chokes at
reached
the end.
G3.
He could have
Yeah.
finished G3 100%
Yeah,
if he just
but
hung his rank.
yeah, but he, we stream and normally we do 30 wings, and it's really hard to climb with 30 wings when we're
Yep.
streaming. So he decided to use his time to help other people to climb.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's boost, it's like help other people to climb.
Yeah, no, I mean it's what
Yeah.
I don't, to me boosting literally only matters when you're talking about like top 100 during SWC qualifier seasons. Any other time, who cares? I mean, it's just
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us take like pride in our RTA ranks, so it would suck to like, get, if you're aiming for your first top 100 and you do get edged out because someone's just boosting accounts left and right, people who have no business getting in there because they're just not experienced enough. It's frustrating, but at the same time it's like all you really get from RTA is cosmetics unless you're fighting for an SWC spot. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Like me, I know that I'm not gonna be in top 100, so I rather
I don't even aim for it.
Yeah,
I'll take my G3 in like the mid 200s. I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah. So normally I use my time to like review account, and a lot of account like get up to high rank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yesterday, there's a guy who say by watching people playing Swiftbird, he get from C2 to G1.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Believable for sure.
And like the other thing too is there's so many players that have an account of like super like eerily close like quality, whether it's box or runes or the combination of both, within like C3 and G1. Like this probably 15,000 accounts that are within that range, like quality wise. So as soon as you get like a streamer who's good at the game to hop on your account, and now your account, which is equal quality to these other 14,999 accounts, but that streamer's just way better at playing the game, you're gonna climb. Like it's not a coincidence that when people give Pinkroyd or Topa or whoever their account at the end of the season, they get their G1 like comfortably,
Yes.
because like that is there's a big difference. Everyone thinks this game is all about RNG, LDs, runes, but yet the second they hand their account to somebody who's experienced, they shoot up in ranks. Your runes didn't change giving it to him. Your monsters didn't change giving it to him. So like it is a good like reminder that it does actually pay to know what you're doing when you're playing. It's not just you're having bad luck when you play.
I would like to add a little bit more to that. Like, let's say Pingroy or top like 10 people playing on one account, and we we play on that same account. The result not gonna be that different. It's not like gonna be a rank higher.
No.
Which means they might do it a little bit better than us, but then it's not gonna be really different in terms of the rank.
No,
Let's say if we can get like that account to like low G1, maybe someone who better than us gonna get that account to high G1. Reason why is you have to, like,
it's not gonna be like a massive switch.
And artifacts and monster as well.
Yeah, I think like one of the factors with like Topa specifically. Like I feel like he's really good at playing other people's accounts. He seems to like understand people's accounts quicker than like I would when I was playing other people's accounts. Like I would go on their account and like it would always take me a couple games. I would have to tweak a couple builds so that they match my play style a little bit better. He's really good at just hopping on their account as is, start winning. Like it's just like he just kind of gets it like right away, like, oh, this is what they're playing, this is what they're ruined like, let's go. And it takes me a few games. Like I gotta kind of, I don't know what it is. He's just good at it for whatever reason.
Some people, they just like good at it naturally.
Yep.
Not like don't need to practice. I mean, they do need to practice, but then they just good. And I don't think I can be that level at all.
No, it's like natural at that point almost. It's not even really something that you practice or train. It's just like they're just good at it.
So there's one question about the next balance pass. What do you think the next balance pass gonna be? I mean, definitely okay, nerf Nana and nerf Oliver, but then beside that, do you think it's gonna be anything different?
I really want to see a unit that isn't so fully RNG that deals with the attack bar manipulation, like the heavy scale, like because it's too dominant. Like I'm not a like a revenge Verd player or anything like that, where I don't like to take on Taurus so heavily. So I want to have like a skill-based attack bar unit that like fucks with their pushbacks. So like Fire Roll was a pretty good addition. He's not necessarily for the attack bar portion, but he can help cut back and mess them up in return.
Yeah, he actually fucks up Jogun.
Yeah, and Gianna and Sierra, like that's why I built mine on 100 res. But I want to see another unit like that isn't so RNG based, but can screw with their ATB pushback.
Comtois like has to make a decision because they have figured out clearly the only thing that works CC wise is pushbacks. So every time they go to buff a unit at this point, if it's a CC unit, what do they give it? They give it a pushback every time. They're just giving it a pushback every time. They're like, we know, we get it. It's the only thing that works. Just take it. They come out with Ren, they give him a pushback. They come out with, I mean, the Wind Shadowcaster sucks, but what is he? He's an attack bar mechanic unit. Like, that's just, they know it's the only fucking thing that works. So it's like, are you guys gonna give us something to counter it, or are you just gonna keep adding to it? Like, at some point they got to make a decision like how they want to handle that. I mean, I personally, with Oliver, it's weird. Like, I almost think the nerf he needs is they need to knock him down to a 24 speed lead. Like, I don't even think it's anything about his skills or his whatever. It's like that 33 lead is what traps you, like when you're fighting him, because you're like, okay, I'm not going to speed contest this guy, because if I do, then I have to force a 33 lead. Okay, there's only two other 33 leads. They are both so much worse than Oliver, it's not even funny. So it's like, if I want to go toe-to-toe with you lead-wise, I have to just admit that I'm taking a unit 10 times worse than the unit that you already took. Like, Samath is directly countered by him.
Yeah.
And Vanessa's just bad. So it's like,
well, she's bad and she's countered by him. Like,
yeah. That's even worse.
And it's worse when you take your 33 and you don't outspeed. Then you're like totally dead.
Oh yeah. No, you're never gonna move.
Yeah.
And one thing is kind of crazy is Oliver is good against Leo and good with Leo.
Yeah.
So if you pick Oliver, if you pick Oliver first pick, you can like turn it into like a Leo match for last pick Leo, or you can go into Leo without banning Leo as well.
Yeah, you can literally do whatever you want once you've picked Oliver. Like,
he breaks every rule. It's insane.
Like Yeah, I mean, because like this game has always had the rule of like if you have a 24 speed lead, like at best you can be like a 7, like as far as a unit, like 1 to 10 goes. Like the unit itself is like at best like a 7, and then if you have a 33 lead, the unit like at best is like a 5, like a Samath or a Vanessa. But Oliver Oliver gets the 33 lead and he's a solid 10. Like he is just flat out 10 as far as like strength of unit, which is just like what happened? Like how did we get here that we just completely just said fuck that rule forever? Like
Not
if
testing.
you think if you think about Oliver, it's kind of like a Shayna before the nerf of the
Yeah.
speed lead taken away.
Yeah, and he got a better speed lead.
Yeah.
So he's a better unit. She was already considered broken. They made him better than Shayna and gave him the better speed lead. And they double nerfed Shayna too. They took her speed lead and her pushback. So I don't know what they're going to do to Oliver.
A question I asked when I was at the San Jose meetup, I want to ask now, is like when you look at like all the seasons we had, and we had like the most broken combos, so like combos of those seasons. So like Gani Hathor being one of them, the original and the most toxic for
yeah, that went on. That literally went on for like 10 seasons. Yeah.
I think it was longer than that. So Gani Hathor, we have Tableau Iris, and we have the Shayna Martina when they had arena leader skills, or at least Shayna did.
And then we had Beast Rider season when they first came out.
Yeah, Beast Rider season.
And that was combined with Chiwu season. Like they buffed Chiwu and invented Savannah at the same time, and then that's what started us down this path of triple revenge Verd, because they invented Savannah and they buffed Chiwu all in one go, and it was like, oh shit.
I guess we can include that into this, but Chiwu, well, but then they had their basements. But yeah, you know what? That they do qualify for this comparison.
Oh, they dominated for like 2 seasons, yeah.
So Gani Hathor, Tableau Iris, what's it called? Shayna Martina when she was in arena, and the Chiwu Savannah, and then now we have Oliver. And I think the Nana, personally, Nana doesn't bother me, but I guess we can talk about Nana. Like, she doesn't bother me that much. She's still really good, yes, but personally, she doesn't bother me as much as the other 5, including Oliver, the other 5. But we can include the Nana meta for a while, and then now Oliver meta for the last 2 seasons. Which do you think is the absolute most toxic we have ever faced at this point?
Most toxic is this, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the strongest. Like, I don't think Oliver's as strong as those other ones, but those other ones just felt like they were just more manageable. Like,
and that's also including at the time what counters they had. So like at the time, well, I guess Antares was a thing for maybe like 10, 15 seasons. But I still don't consider a viable counter pick anyway. But like if you're thinking about like Chiwu Savannah meta, when Nana was, or not Nana, sorry, before Abelio was buffed, if Abelio had its thing now and he had then I could see that being less of a thing. Then the Tableau Iris, it would still be ridiculously strong. Tableau Iris is like almost second place for me at that point because of how good it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oliver, I find like the most ridiculous just because he has everything.
It's just the most toxic because his only counter is pure RNG. You will not lose with an Oliver if your strips land and Oliver lands his skills and the Antares on the other side doesn't just completely go apeshit on you. Oliver has no real lose condition. He's never going to stop moving. He's never going to stop cycling his skills unless he just gets sacked. He has to get sacked to lose. That's it. He's not going to lose otherwise. So it's the most toxic for sure, because if you're fighting him, you're just sitting there with your Antares like, all right, buddy, like time to move. Like, let's go. Like you feel hopeless. You know what I mean?
And you never do. What do you think, Alan?
I think, I don't know. I'm a little bit biased about I know that he is kind of overpowered right now, and I feel dirty when I use him. But then the most scariest and unlikable RC season is when Nana haven't get the nerf yet from like 60% to 40%. You remember that? And Wusa and Nigong S2 to 25%. So
Yeah.
that is really BS season.
It was a really slow season. Like,
you pick like a full support unit and re-tanky unit, and you just come back with 60% HP.
yeah.
Nobody can like kill you.
That was really bad.
And like in their own way, those units do a ton of damage to you too. Like Wusa's S2 was doing a ton of damage, and Nana, like Death Break is just a death sentence in RTA. Like it doesn't matter if you're fighting a team full of supports. If you're death broken, you're going to die in like a round or two. Like you're going to. Like you're
with that.
yeah, like you are on a super short timer as soon as you get death broken, and Nana has that built in too. So it's like
I used to review one account that got G1 from that season because he have like Nigong and Nana and Wusa, but his rune quality is high C2.
oh,
You see how
and he got
how
G1.
hard how hard that those units carry him to like get G1.
Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, no, I don't know about Nana. Like, I don't even know how they nerf her, honestly. Take away the defense break, give her a different debuff?
I think the best way to nerf Nana is when she revive a unit, she just give them like 50% of whatever whatever attack bar before they die. I think that's gonna be the best.
Yeah, I don't know though. I just feel like revive is such a shitty mechanic. Like, if they want her to be the good one, then keep her being the good one as far as revives go, but she's just too good. She's 116 base speed, AoE defense break. It's like you can put her on your 5th despair stat. Guess what? She's still tuned. She doesn't need any like damage. She just needs some accuracy and some tankiness.
Yeah.
She's so easy to rune, and she provides value no matter what. There's no way Nana makes it into your match and doesn't provide you any value. She's going to provide you something, no matter the matchup, no matter the like situation. She's going to give you something, which is just crazy.
So I've heard Obama say that he thinks the fair nerf for Nana is she will not get stacked until she attacked the first turn. Which means she
How the
will not
hell
get
do
a
you?
stack.
How do you even code that though?
I don't know, but so what he say is like, let's say your teammate kill one unit before you get a turn, you will not get a stack. So
What?
it had to be she. Let's say
just make your 0 stack again.
Yeah, what?
Just make your 0.
That's the same. That's basically the same thing.
Oh really?
And that's how I'm understanding it. It's just you make your 0 stack again. I don't even remember. You were using her when she was 0.
I liked her a lot, but the reason why I liked her though is because that S2 is so damn good. So like, once again, no matter what, whether I got a kill right off the bat, because I was using her with Molong Icarus, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I got a kill, I'm getting value out of her revive. If I don't get a kill, I'm getting value out of her defense break. Now she just does that, but on steroids, because you don't even have to get a kill. You can just pick her with anything. You don't even have to get a kill. So, like, I just think the defense break is just, that type of unit shouldn't have a defense break. Like, she shouldn't help your team get kills when she has a passive that's that cracked. Like, that second skill should be something totally different.
But she was back to 0 stack though, and then let's say they made her revive.
But I want her to be a good reviver though, is the thing. Like, revivers just suck. Like, top to bottom, they just suck. She just needs to not be a broken unit, like, on top of being a reviver.
How about take her attack away when she revive a unit?
That'd be kind of cool, actually. Like, take her attack bar away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny.
It needs some kind of punishment for her to like revive a unit. Maybe lose a half of her HP.
Yeah, and I mean the only other thing I can think of, and I don't know if this is like this would honestly probably kill her. So I don't know, maybe, but if she just doesn't revive herself, like she's still
her first.
I know, but like she's still a better Triana, even in that situation. Like, and Triana's you don't need her anymore because we have Nana, but Triana has always been a viable, good unit.
Yeah.
And she would still be a better Triana because you could still use her to protect squishy units, and you would just build the Nana just on steroids, like plus 35k HP, you know, and just use her to protect squishy units, which is like I think was their idea when they came out with her. Like get kills with squishy units and then protect those squishy units with your revive mechanic. But as soon as they gave her that stack to start the game, it's like okay, too much.
Yeah. 60% HP when revive is a lot. I mean, to be honest, 40% is still gonna be a really good amount to pair it with Abelio, because right now she on crack with Abelio as well.
Yep.
Especially if you put artifact on your unit, have HP when revive.
Yeah.
Maybe just 1 or 2%. 1 or 2%. They hit them.
It's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if people don't know, because Nana revives exactly at 40, and then you poke that same revive unit, they don't
know. They cannot see if it's like 40 or 41 or something.
Oh yeah, so no, they're never gonna know.
No, but I'm saying like if the people who are listening to this don't know, like if Nana revives you at 40% and you have an Abelio, you don't proc Abelio's passive.
Yeah.
If for some reason you don't know it, like you're trying to figure out why isn't my Abelio procking? They revive at 40. They have to be at like 41 or 40.1.
Which I feel like is almost an oversight, because doesn't his skill specifically say when they drop below 40?
Below 40, but whenever you attack him, not from like yeah.
Because I remember I used to have this issue in the past when Druids first came out, and I was using Tyrannus and Abelio. And his skill used to be under 30, and Tyrannus revived at 30. So it was like, but it never really made sense. Oh, it's 240 or below. Okay, yeah. So that means the threshold starts at 40.1. Okay. So that's where you have to go. You have to go from above 40.1 to anything lower than that, and then you'll activate him. But yeah, I don't know. With Nana, I just think she's too good everywhere. And like, I'm cool with her being the best reviver. That's fine. Leave her revive. But defense break just makes her good with everything, against everything. Yeah. You always get value out of the revive. Defense break's the best debuff in the game. She has an amazing skill to do it. I don't know.
Pretty toxic. It can be.
Yeah. I think that I'm really happy with the playstyle I play, because I would never encounter those problems. I just never let them take the turn, so I don't have to care about like RNG. If they pick Antares, I just need to ban on Antares and say, okay, that's it.
So what are you using with the? Are you just doing Swiftford, Ryu, Jogun, and then what? What's your normal follow-ups?
Normally I'm gonna first pick Bird.
Yeah.
Because if they take Water Ryu, they're gonna take Bird. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I first pick Bird, and then I follow up with Water Ryu and Charlotte. The reason why I pick Charlotte here, not picking Chumpung, because if you pick Chumpung, they will not pick a passive unit or some kind of unit that you can reset it. Normally they're gonna pick like Antares or Fire Bison or something like that, or Juno. So those units you're not gonna get any value from resetting them.
Yeah.
So by picking Charlotte there, we're gonna trap them to pick those kind of unit that we can reset. And then after that, I'm gonna follow up with either a bomber like a John or like a Chumpung. So I value a Chumpung and a Charlotte more than a Savannah, because I feel like Savannah is like one hit wonder, which means if you miss the
I know. If you don't have a multi-hit at this point in the game, it's so fucking hard to use.
Yeah. Is this punishment?
Yeah. The comp that I've been having success with, well, I say it having success with, I ruined it up last night, so it's been one set of 30 wings. But I'm actually using I'm not doing Swiftbird, but I'm using like Ryu and Jogun and stuff like that with usually Charlotte, Savannah, Poseidon, whoever. And I keep getting like triggered because I always want attack buff. Like every time I just get Jogun banned against me every time, and I hate it because like when I lose attack buff, my units have to have just a shitload of attack to account for the fact that I may not have attack buff, just because one unit exists out there named Douglas, so every single one of my units has to be ruined to account for it. So what I did last night was I just took all of my I redid all my builds. I went back to being tanky and stuff because Antares was just fucking driving me crazy. Cuts twice, my Oliver's dead because I'm on plus 2k attack and 170 speed. So like, it was like, okay, fuck it. I'm going back to being tanky. And so now I had to like force more attack buffs in because I can't just let them ban Jogun. I need to be able to attack buff myself. So I started using like Bastet. And what I do is I have Bastet right behind Jogun. They're both on Violent, and then when they leave both, I just use Bastet. She's on max accuracy. I use her as a defense breaker after Jogun strips them, and then I have attack buff and defense break, which means I can get through just any one AOE unit. I'm just gonna shred them, like, and then also what I'm doing is I'm picking Lucian as my last pick, so I have Lucian. Yeah, I know it's really weird, but like what it puts people in a weird predicament where it's like, okay, so I have Ryu, Jogun, Bastet, and Poseidon, or just usually Poseidon just because he can't glance, and it just guarantees me that I'm going to push them back pretty much. And what I'll do is if they're in a weird spot where it's like, okay, if they ban Poseidon, you're getting attack buff Lucian. There's nothing you can do about it. I have 2 attack buffs. I have a pushback. I have a bar boost, whatever. I can even bring a fat Lucian. Like, it doesn't really matter. So now you're getting Lucian. If you ban Lucian, then you're getting stripped by Jogun, defense broken by Bastet, and now Ryu and Poseidon hit you with their AoEs. So it's working like strangely well. It's just like all I had to do was just find a way to force more attack buffs into my team other than Jogun, because Bastet is just so good. I don't know. I wish I had used her sooner in last season, but
how about try her to be on crit damage? Try her on crit damage, because I saw people with Nephthys do the same thing as well.
Yeah, right now she's actually on crit rate, just to get her at the I have her at a exact speed. Like, she is like 0.5 behind Jogun and like 0.7 in front of Ryu, and I need her right in the middle of them because I want a defense break for Ryu so I don't run out of damage if they ban my Poseidon or something like that. I want to like get a fully loaded Ryu hit off on them while their defense broken. And then, but yeah, crit damage Bastet like hurts, and so does Nephthys. Nephthys just claps, but I just don't have that exact rune to make that work.
Because normally when you run support unit, nobody on target has support unit. So why don't we just make it so why don't we just make it another attack like our damage dealer? They don't know.
Yeah, so she's on speed crit rate accuracy right now.
It's kind of funny, but I've been running my Jogun on crit rate sub 4 with like 85% crit rate and plus like 9k HP, but people don't attack.
Yeah, no, because they're like, oh, he got his skills off. I don't have to touch him anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I had my Jogun as well, on crit rate actually.
It just infuriates me versus Ragdoll. That's the only thing.
Yeah. And you kind of want your Jogun handy against the ragdoll.
Yep.
Kind of a nice benefit, especially when you're playing higher guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't
Normally, the
like.
Squidward comp, you have to ban out Ragdoll every time, so you don't have to worry about Ragdoll. I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, yeah, I'm not really running Bird right now, though, so I kind of just, like, all my speeds are just at the 280 range, just really, really tight, so I'm just hoping when there's a Ragdoll there that I don't crit it. Like, all my units just go bang, 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 so, like, anything that's going to be dropping an AoE has 15 crit rate. My Moor has plus 2k attack, but 15 crit rate. My Jogun has a shitload of attack, 15 crit rate. Like, I do not want to crit. I still crit every fucking time. Even when there's a Molly there, I still crit something. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so infuriating, but I try not to crit.
Well, the game is like coding that way for us to be teal. To me, I think that's the only way. They do it for us to be teal and like spend more money in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll never understand why they, like, in my opinion, like, the attack type units should be the only things that start at 15% crit rate. There's no reason if Comp to Us goes in and says this is a support type unit, that unit should start at 15 crit rate. You should be able to have 0 if you want 0. Like,
That's what I want.
it's such bullshit. Like, why does my Lulu have to have 15 crit rate? No matter what I do, no matter what runes I put on it, it has to have a 15% chance to crit, period. Why? Why?
Just in case you need that extra damage that you didn't know you needed.
It's so frustrating. Like, we have the monster types, like, in the game. Like, we can already differentiate, like, just by their type, which units like to crit and which units do not like to crit. They should not all start at 15. It's bullshit.
Well, there's a lot of defense and HP types that you want.
Yeah, those you have to figure out when you're creating the unit. Like, you know, like, this game's not built by robots. Like, it's people. Like, they can look at a unit and go, okay, it has Wild Blow as its skill too, like the Druids. These things are probably going to want to crit. We'll let these start with base 15 crit rate. But then when you go over to a different defense type, like, I don't even know who else even is a defense type, honestly. But
Fengyan.
Is Wedgeot a defense type? He probably is for no reason. But yeah, Fengyan, like, there's no reason for him to start with 15 crit rate. There's no reason. He doesn't even do his passive, which does all his damage, doesn't factor in crits.
No.
So it's like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, we can say a lot of things, but as a company, they know what is like the best way to make the money. It's just like using people. So, you know.
Yeah. I know.
If it's good for us, it doesn't mean that they're gonna like do it for us, you know.
Yeah. No.
That's why
It's very calculated that all of the best counter picks are LD5s.
Yeah.
No exceptions. They are all LD5s.
It wasn't by chance.
Right. It's why, like, if you actually, like, go in and look at, like, attack bar boosters and things like that, most of them are regular element units. Like, 90%, there's very few, like, LD5s that actually have, like, an attack bar boost mechanic. There's, like, a couple. It's like Wedgeot and Craig, and that's like, Wool Young. There's a few.
Yeah.
But then there's a billion regular element ones, and where's the attack bar counter? Tian Lang, and he is an LD Nat 5. So there's probably literally 100 plus regular element units with attack bar gain mechanics, and the one counter to them is sitting over in the LD5 category with Tian Lang. It's like, it's so blatant. It's so blatant. Like, we get it. Come to us.
Look at the fire units that have attack bar.
Look at, dude. That looks like the whole monster collection.
All the water, yeah, pretty much.
And the one fucking unit that you have to counter them is just sitting over in LD5 land, where none of us can pull him.
You may or may not summon it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I hope they do something with attack bar. At the very least, we need something that counters attack bar reduction. Because right now it's that other LD5, right? I don't even know his name.
Jackson.
Jackson, Dark Oliver. There's our counter that we want. We'll never have him, but there he is.
Cheeses me, dude. It cheeses me.
Yeah.
Like, this thing like Jackson, like people don't think he's good, but I'm like, you haven't fought a good one, nor have you given like in High Guardian, Jackson gets slapped down. That's a 4-span.
Yeah.
For, like,
he never makes it into a fight.
No.
Ever.
I've tried so many times. Like maybe this is like I gotta figure out, and then I figured out that no, I can't just let this unit through. Because even though I'm built to be anti-Leo with 15 crit, or not anti-Leo, sorry, anti-Ragdoll, by running my whole team on 15 crit, I can get by letting Ragdoll through. But Jackson, there's so much attack bar pushback in this game that you can't like afford it.
Yeah. It's built into all the strips now too.
Yeah. And plus and then Jackson having a strip too is what makes him so good.
Yeah.
If he didn't have a strip, then you can like knock him down a couple levels. You can probably justify not drafting him, not banning him. But the fact he has a strip is he doesn't even need to land the stun. If he just strips for you, and you gain so much bar just by his existence on the field, it's insane.
And I think it's per hit per monster. Which means
it seems like it. Yes,
it is. It is per hit per monster.
Because like
I think that's the only passive in the game that does that.
Yeah. I've been running into Jackson one time and I misplay. I use water reuse skill 2 after the vert got boost for like 40%.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I think okay. If
you thought you gained more than enough bar.
Yeah, I thought I gained more than enough because let's say it's just like 1 per monster. It's like 1 per hit per monster. Then the Jackson will not gonna cut, but it's actually cut. And I think it's like per hit per monster.
Yeah, it's because you stole like 5 or 6 times, which is actually like a really lucky Ryu result. But in that situation, it's like it costs you the game. Like Ryu will never do that when you need him to. But put a Jackson on the other side. Oh yeah, he's stealing fucking everybody's bar. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know what they need to. There's so many units. There's so many LDs that just like they fill a niche.
All unit. Because right now the only way I think that the pattern they're doing is keep releasing new monster, and most of them are not relevant.
Yeah.
Like the Onimushi. They keep adding layer of new monster without like doing anything about old monster. Like to be honest, right now I think they can give back the Revenge and Son of Laika back to him.
They could. Yeah.
Or even what's the other one they nerfed for no there was another one.
Celia.
I mean, they could revert Mo Long back.
Yeah, well, maybe not revert Mo Long. That was
Why not?
No.
Why not? You're still countered by Diana. You're still countered by Riley. You're still countered by. It's like you're still countered by Nana. You're still. It's like there's answers for everything now. It doesn't even matter.
We had an example unit of like if Mo Long was back to his glory days with his S2 being like it was, that would be more when he was at 50% strip rate. And that 10% made a difference, and he was a good example of why, if Mo Long has to stay nerfed, is the only way to word it, because like a consistent water stripper is like it screws over all the Verd players, and like I'm for it. Believe me, I'm for screwing over triple revenge Verd, but
honestly though, like Ryu doesn't even feel like a counter to triple revenge Verd. That fucking thing always gets 1 crit at least. He just always does. Yeah, seriously.
I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, because I don't know, like it almost feels like the patches that they've done recently though, it's like they're almost going out of their way to not make a splash in RTA. It's like they're being extra careful to not buff anything or nerf anything. Like you read that whole list and you're like, wait, so what's changing exactly?
Yeah, I didn't
It's
notice anything.
it's like, what? You guys had like 3 months and you came up with this like 15 to 20 line sheet of paper and nothing. Oh God, nothing's gonna change. I just knocked my headphone into my computer, but yeah, like, I don't know. It just feels like they are doing it on purpose.
To me,
Yeah, they
it
flew
feels like
balling us.
it feels like they have no Guardian players in the development part of the game.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. They used to. They didn't really take his opinion. He now works in a different part of comm to us, but he used to be like the only high Guardian player. He would give his inputs like, look, this is ridiculous, or this is not ridiculous, like this is blah blah blah. Now he's not in that part of the comp, like he's not part of Sky Arena anymore. So now
But
they don't have, as far as I know, they don't have anybody that's in high Guardian. Like G1 is not, like G1's whatever, but high Guardian
yeah,
who has an opinion that, like, you know, this unit is doing too much because of XXX, or this unit does too little because of XXX, and that doesn't exist. To me, that's what I think is an issue, is that they don't have that. Nobody's
But
weighing in.
is it true that the HQ is the only part of come to us make the last decision of what to buff or what to,
I'm sure, yeah.
because the HQ is in Korea, not
Yeah.
in North America.
100%, yeah. Wherever the
Oh.
dev team is, the offices in Europe and America there's no
No
developers.
voice.
No, there's no. Yeah, I mean, they might be able to say
Pass
like,
over opinions.
yeah, like they might be able to feed information, but
Mhm.
there's not a development team working in the NA office making
Those
changes to the game.
Those I can actually answer. Those offices are just for mainly
Yeah.
keeping in touch with the influencers and
Yeah,
whatnot.
marketing.
Yeah, and they're essentially marketing offices.
Yeah.
But they do in fact pass over information from us, like me or any of the North American streamers, or if you're in Europe, you're a European streamer, contact your European office if you're
Yep.
part of their program, and then they do for sure pass over those information. That information can get passed over a
Yeah.
lot more quickly and efficiently, as long as you also send in a ticket. This is a ticket reference. This is our known guy who you can take his word that this is going to shit, and it does have there is a thing to it, but when it comes to development,
Yeah, but the problem is, like, the way companies like that work. I mean, I don't work in gaming, but I work in a very similarly functioning field. Like, I do the cost accounting for an engineering department, and we develop products for our company, similar to the way that developers develop balance patches and content for this game. And like stuff like that, the way it's handled, especially, you know it to be true too when balance patches are like 2-3 months apart and they're only like 15 lines long. The reason is because I promise you, no matter what they want to tell you, there is not somebody whose job when they get in at 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. is to work on balance. It's just not the way it works. Like, they have a million other tasks, maintenance that they do on the game, fixing little bugs we never hear about, bugs we never know about. And then when balance patch time comes around, when they know they've got to, I swear to God, they just give it to one developer and they trust him to make, just a lengthy enough patch that's not going to cause any issues in the game, not stir up any shit. They just tell him, what can you get out in this 1 week? We do it where I work. It's like when we need to release like a new product and just like have alternate options or whatever, one engineer whose job isn't even to actually do that, it's like, can you just like throw this together? You've got like a week. There's like a week deadline. That's how they operate, because those types of things don't make you the money, so they don't prioritize it. There's no reason to prioritize it. They're not going to pay a guy 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year to just look at balance. They're never gonna do that. Anyone working on that development team could put together that balance patch in 1 day before the deadline, give them just enough time to make sure that they get it in without any bugs, and yet there's always bugs every time. It's a 15-line balance patch and it comes in with bugs. It's because someone just throws it together. It's his job to throw it together with like a week to go, and then that's just how these games work, because like CEO and the higher ups, they don't look at that function as, oh yeah, our bottom line is going to shoot up as soon as this guy drops a balance patch. It's nothing to them. They want the next pack, the next content drop that like drives interest and stuff. It's just how it goes. So
the point that I feel like if Summoner War want to try to expand to more newer player, it should be something like more cosmetic. Like we've been asking for like a dark team, dark team island. You know, we all have like a daylight island, right? Why don't they just make it like a nighttime or like rainy or snowy or something like that? So that's the first
just
thing.
make the game look better in general.
Yeah, it should look better. Or they can like trying to make the story behind every monster and how they related, something like League of Legends. Yeah, it's gonna make more people want to play the game and attract new player as well. Because to be honest, this game is 8 years already. If they don't expand it that way, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Like, do you guys ever have to like re-download the game, or even when you have to like go into your app store to like update the game? Like you see like just on like Google's app store, the game has like 50 something million downloads, and then you think to yourself like,
oh my god.
You think to yourself like, yeah, no wonder they don't give a shit about RTA, because an RTA stream's got 100 people watching, bitching about it. And this game's been downloaded across all platforms probably fucking 300 million times. Like, they don't care about the 100 people in a Twitch chat that all hate Douglas. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And like, you know, this game didn't even release with RTA. It was like an afterthought. Like, this game was supposed to just be a gotta catch 'em all, you know, Pokemon type, you know, Korean version of like a Pokemon-esque game. Korean, and it's Pokemon. It's like, so, you know, I think it's nice that they've done as much as they have with a game mode that's been like really just an afterthought. Like the fact that they even did SWC, it's like they don't have to. This game is printing money whether SWC exists or not. So it's all right, but I just wish that like the balance patches, like how much, if they went to like the top 10 players on the RTA list and we're just like, hey, can you fill out this survey? Like, can you guys just all put your most disliked unit, why you think they're broken, and then give us 10 of the units that you think are the worst, you know, like Ariel and Elat or whatever, and tell us why you think that. Just do that like 2 weeks before the balance patch. Take the average, like, okay, all 10 players had Oliver number 1 on their list. He's going on this balance patch, period. You know what I mean? Maybe 6 of them said it was the speed lead that's broken. Maybe some of them said it's the fact that the S3 reduces its own cooldown, or you know what I mean? Like, they all give a different answer, but you think to like, okay, 6 of them think it's the speed lead. Drop the speed lead to 24. See where he lands, and then next season you do the same thing. Top 10 players, it might be 10 different people. What do you guys think? Oh, Oliver's still number 1 on your list, even though we dropped his speed lead. Maybe it's the S3 thing. Nerf the S3. Like, just do it like one at a time, you know, and just until you start surveying those people and they're like, well, nothing's really broken, but I guess this and this and this, and then you're, you know, finally starting to get into a good spot. But
because I think when people are sending tickets, like let's say the balance patch just hit, it's already been what 1 month since we had the patch, maybe 3 weeks. I think it's
a month, yeah, for sure. A month now.
So everyone sends out like, why the fuck didn't you nerf Oliver? Why the fuck didn't you nerf Oliver?
Yeah.
Repeat that times 1,000. But then now you hit next balance patch, and let's say how you think it works, and I'm pretty sure it's accurate. Like 1 week, 2 weeks before patch time, they say, okay, it's time to bring up all the notes and whatever. Most of the tickets people put in are 2 months old.
Yeah.
Or like 2 months old, maybe 6 weeks old.
Yep.
If you have like a newer, let's say, okay, Balance Patch is coming up.
Do the Guardians, do it through the Guardians Club.
Yeah.
Put the survey out through the Guardians Club thing.
At least as a minimum, yeah. For Guardians Club or something like that, where they have the most fresh opinions in the last 2 weeks before patch. I think that's a great idea, actually. And then, that's actually a really good idea the more I think about it, because then they can reference those notes. If they want to keep it more narrow, if they can, I don't want to say.
I mean, the thing is, though, it's like if they make you fill out a survey where, like, let's just say you click a drop down and you select Oliver or whatever.
Yeah.
They can then just take that data and just put it on a spreadsheet. I'll make the spreadsheet for them. Okay, come to us. This is my offer to you. I will make you the spreadsheet for free. Okay, free of charge. All you guys have to do is code on your website a drop down list that has all the units on it. Then when you put this survey out, you just have everybody choose it from the drop down, so it selects Oliver, right? So you just do it the drop down so that there's no typos or anything like that. And then once you transfer it over to the spreadsheet, you just sort it. What was the unit most likely to be on the top of somebody's overpowered list? You're just asking 10 units out of everyone in Guardians Club or whatever, or send it out to the top 100 in RTA, whatever you want to do. Drop it onto a spreadsheet and just nerf the top 10. And just do a slight tweak to the top 10.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Oliver is the most hated, Nano was the second. Have people put notes like what, or you know what, don't even. That's going to be too complicated for the devs to manage. Just take the unit.
If you limit it within a certain amount of words or something.
Yeah, you know Oliver was on the top of everybody's list. Tweak him in some way. And anything's better than nothing. Last patch we got nothing. Just do anything to him. Anything that makes him objectively worse than what he is right now, just do it. And then we'll just go from there. But instead they just whip something together, and who knows, maybe the dev that had the job of doing it this last time, maybe he just pulled Oliver. Like they're seriously, they're real people. You know what I mean? It's real people doing it, and people do like that is, it's human nature. Like it's a real thing. Like people like to think that games are just like run by robots. No, that's a dude working his 9 to 5 that's making this decision.
Something I recall is when Zerath, remember Zerath's buff to his S2?
Yeah.
When he got like a cleanse or something.
Yeah, a cleanse. Yeah.
One of the main developers actually just pulled Zerath at that time.
That's how it goes, man.
Right before the patch, and then it was like,
yeah, they're real people.
Squeezed in. Let's add something to Zerath all of a sudden.
Yeah, when we release products at my work, what's the determining factor on it? The engineers' opinions. Like that's what goes into this shit. Like, it's not always like, survey 1 billion customers and figure out like what they want the most. No, it's like whatever that engineer feels like is the best. They're the ones who do the work. They're the ones who implement it. That's what gets implemented. That's what comes out. Like, it's the same thing with this. Like, maybe that guy just pulled Oliver. We don't know.
It's
Would you nerf your own unit if you just pulled it and the balance patch was strictly up to you? And like you're like a nameless figure. None of us can blame you, right? We don't know who you are. Like you're not gonna get any shit thrown at you. Like no one knows who you are. Like, fuck it. Keep Oliver. Keep Nana.
I'm convinced that's the reason.
Yeah,
I'm convinced.
It all plays a factor when this stuff, maybe that's not the sole factor, but like human opinion, when it's a human making these decisions, goes heavily into it. Like if that guy doesn't feel like, if that guy plays a team that doesn't lose to Douglas very often, do you think he's going into that balance patch thinking Douglas is overpowered? Probably not. Especially
if they're not taking opinions from other people.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
Like in that guy's head, Douglas is fine, right? He doesn't play a comp that's weak to Douglas, so he knows he's beatable. So he's like, yeah, whatever, Douglas is fine. So I don't know.
The more we know.
That's my conspiracy about how these balance patches are done.
Good conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's agreeable.
Yeah, I've worked at enough of these companies that have these like deadlines and things like that, and just like humans cut corners and their opinions influence their work. They just do. Like, it's how it goes. I mean, I don't know.
I have a story I want to share with you guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was one of the viewer on my stream. He had a problem with his account, and he won a support ticket from Comtuous, and he sent it to Comtuous Global and Comtuous USA.
Yeah.
But he lived in Germany.
Yeah.
So they respond back, say, we are not able to support you if you don't write your support ticket in simply Chinese.
What?
Yes.
Really?
So my conspiracy theory is they outsourcing, basically the dev team right now is in Chinese.
Yeah.
So he had to wait for like a week to receive that email from Comtuous Global. So they say, we not be able to support you if you don't write it in simply Chinese. So I have to help him find somebody who can write in simple Chinese to help him. And then they ask, all these questions about what device you use and stuff. But then is it kind of weird that even Comtuous Global cannot support like a ticket or something like that? I just feel there's something really vague, and like is my related to like all the balance path and stuff as well, because I really think it's come from Comtuous HQ, which is Korea.
Yeah, well, like what I guess it depends on what type of issue it is, because like I've submitted a ticket before just because I was super tilted when Kaki came out, and I double-monned him for RTA, and like within a day they nerfed him. And I was like, motherfuckers. Like I pulled, like I had saved up a shitload of scrolls, did a ton of summons, pulled all the Onimushas except Kaki. So then obviously I pulled out my handy dandy credit card and like just went crazy trying to get Kaki. Finally got him, double-monned him, whatever. And then they nerfed him like less than a week later. So I submitted a ticket, and like I got like a response that's like, because I wasn't asking, or basically because they didn't have to do anything technical with my account. I asked for a refund on the double-mon, and they were saying no, right? So I don't have to do anything. Like I get a response in English, right? They read my message, right? Because that's something that like, if someone at the US office is just told like, hey, we're not refunding double-mon, just respond to these tickets and tell them we're not refunding double-mon, then they can do that. But if it's an issue, like a real technical issue that a developer has to go in and fix, maybe it does have to be in Chinese, because maybe they do outsource their development team. Like, are the models that like we make for what we sell where I work is done by a team in Bulgaria. Like we have to communicate to them in their language. Like we have someone who works for us that can communicate to them in their language to explain to them like how to do things. Like they do a lot of our back end work in Bulgaria. So it wouldn't surprise me if Comtuous does something like that with their development team being
related
China.
To, technical. So that might be the case. But then again, all those balance patch, it just make me feel like that Comtuous Global and those office over here is not really related to all those.
Yeah, they have no say, because they hear it in their chat all day long. People bitching about Douglas, bitching about Oliver, bitching about Nana. Like they hear it all day. Like if they had any sort of say, we would see those units get switch in a heartbeat, because they don't want to listen to that all day. Every time they fire up a Twitch stream, people are bitching about, you know, Riley when she came out and whatever. It's like, they don't want to hear that. So like, if they had any sort of sway, those units would be switched quickly, I'm sure. I wouldn't want to deal with that. I'd be like, yo, if I was controlling the balance patch and I had to listen to that, I'd be telling that developer, you need to change these units. I'm not going to listen to this all day, every day, on every forum post on Reddit, on every tweet. You know, hashtag nerf Oliver. Like, fuck this. Get this out of here. So yeah, I mean, they probably have no say in some, which I never thought they did. It doesn't surprise me at all that they have no say in it. But yeah, we're at over an hour. So if you guys are good to call it,
we'll call it.
Yeah,
I want to get something to eat.
Yeah, for sure. But thank you so much for joining us. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to talk to you guys for a long time.
Yep. Yeah, it has been.
Like 5 months ago or 6 months ago about having there we go. Ended up doing it on the podcast.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
For a reason why we sitting here and talking.
The stars aligned.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll drop your links in the description. So let me know. Just send me if you want to just send me on Discord your Twitch link and your YouTube link and.
Send me your link whenever you post the video so I can share with my Discord group as well. Yeah, sure. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like. These videos come out every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bye.